Good morning, dear friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to bring you a walkthrough of a deck that I love. I've had this deck for about 10 years, although the deck itself, Tarot of the Spirit, has been out since the early 1990s. This is published by US Games. It's readily available. And there are a lot of things that I just really love about this deck, and only a few minor quibbles that I have with it. So this is a wonderful tarot creation. I say creation because it's rather unique. It has elements of Rider-Waite-Smith. It has elements of Thoth, but it is it's a very well thought out deck. The creators are a mother and daughter team. And they, I believe, are psychologists. One of them is a psychologist anyway. So there is a lot of deep diving that can be done with this deck. There is a title card here, which shows the Empress card. Another thing I love about it, it's got rather modernistic art, sort of reminiscent of the Thoth deck, but different. Like I said, it's its own inspiration. And I could almost call this one of my classics. There is an extra card here, which I believe is called the Spirit, which can be used for readings. It has no title or no keyword or anything on it. Now, this deck does have borders. I don't find the borders to be offensive. It does have the US Games copyright on there. This deck does have references to the Kabbalah, and I'd like to show you this plastic overlay comes with the deck. Put a white paper behind so you can see. Each card is supposed to be able to be overlaid with this template so that you can relate it to the paths of the Kabbalah. Now, I personally have not studied Kabbalah, and I'm not familiar with it, other than the bare basics, but as you can see, you kind of overlay the cards and the paths are here, and there's supposed to be relatability for each card to the Tree of Life of Kabbalah. So if you're learning that, I think this would be a great deck to learn with. So there is that. So this overlay plastic, it's not going to wear out. And we have a really nice little white book. It's specific to the deck. It does not have keywords. It's got an explanation of the feelings behind the card. So this is a deck more geared toward meditation and path work, which I really love about it. That's more my path with tarot. I'm not into forecasting or predictions. I'm more into meditation, self-understanding, path work, questioning for queries such as, what do I need to know to deal with this situation that I'm in, or what sort of path should I take, or what do I need to know to understand this situation. So this is a nice guidebook. It has it doesn't have keywords. It's got the ideas behind the card and the thought that they're trying to portray with the artwork. So it's a really nice deck specific guidebook, not a generic guidebook to tarot in general. Alrighty, we've got the title card here. The card back is lovely. This gives me the impression there's an Ouroboros, or the snake eating its tail. And to me, that sort of represents fire. And then we've got kind of an air and water. And this sort of looks like sunshine. I don't really see earth per se, but I do love the feel of this card back. It's not really reversible because of the head of the snake, but it's beautiful. This is absolutely my favorite Fool card of all time. I love this. I love everything about it. It looks like we're moving from an earthly plane into the heavens. We've got the dog at our side. The dog is not behind us trying to hold us back. it's sort of almost leading the way. So it's a really beautiful card. We've got sort of the impression of expanding consciousness and knowledge. We've got a key here, a lock and key. Could be a lock that's sort of holding you back. We've got the white rose moving forward. And it's just so beautiful. I love it. I have to tell you, that's my favorite Fool card of all time. Next, the Magus. And we've got the numbers up top and the card title at the bottom. A very flowing image here, indicative of manifesting your will into reality. All the tools are here. The swirling pattern continues down here. Just beautiful. He's inside a house, sort of a structure, but yet we've got the turbulent sky behind. Really beautiful. Next we have High Priestess, and her head is sort of an eye it's got the world inside of it, giving you the impression of using intuition, that you've internalized what you need to know. We've got the Torah cloth cascading here. Rather than having her feet in water, she's got it on this sort of a watery checkerboard path there, which to me that's one of the things I don't particularly like about this card. This seems more like an Empress basis to me. But we've got the pillars here and the knowledge within you that's being bestowed. So that's a beautiful card as well. Here we have the Empress. She's got the symbol of nobility, the eagle, which is also associated with the Emperor. And she does have her feet on the half moon and the flowing water. Got her beautiful green robes and green surrounding her to symbolize the green of the world. It's an earthy card. Very pretty. Next we have the Emperor. Again, we've got this eagle symbol here. Kind of his shin guards are made from an eagle. We've got the structural house or window there, and he's behind a window pane. He's got his feet in the 4 square position. Very cool Emperor. He's got the ram's head here, which is a very traditional association with the Emperor. Next, the Hierophant. We've got the supplicants here. He's also got his feet on the checkerboard, and I think that's the idea behind the High Priestess with her checkerboardy feet. Sometimes these two cards are linked as being paired. So that could explain that. He is also on a throne, which you don't typically see the Hierophant on a throne. But to me that makes sense because he's supposed to represent institutions, status quo, and that sort of thing. So there is the Hierophant. The Lovers. We've got the dual snake caduceus type image that's normally at the top here with the lion over it in the Rider-Waite decks. But here we've got the symbol with the lovers intertwined there. There's a beautiful Lovers card. Next, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is associated with Cancer. We've got the signs of the zodiacs in these cards as well. And we've got the dual Sphinx down here, similar to Rider-Waite. We've got the stars. So while there's not a lot of motion, it's more a astrological type card representing Cancer. We've got the moon phases up there. So there's the Chariot. Strength. She's sort of grappling with the dual snake image there. So to me, this is okay. I'm very sort of traditional. I mean, that's one of the Rider-Waite Smith impressions that I've gotten that every strength card should have a lion in it. And it doesn't really need to be that way. There are lots of ways you can grapple with your inner demons. This is a lovely hermit. To me, it looks like he's actually rising from a grave with a shroud around him. It's a very interesting hermit card. I like it. Wheel of Fortune. I absolutely adore this Wheel of Fortune. Look at the swirling impression you get there. So as you can see, they do go with the Rider-Waite numbering of the majors. We have 11 is justice or karma. So they call it karma in this deck. And we've got the even-handedness. We've got the lemniscate here, an infinity symbol. We've got another impression here of swirling and turning. A lot of pillars in this deck, pillars on each side. So that is karma. And once the judging is over, and you may possibly have been relegated to face the consequences of your action, we have the Hanged Man here. Hanging was traditionally done as a punishment back in the olden days. Hanging until death. So there is the Hanged Man in his holding zone, waiting for either redemption or death. It's a card of consequences. Next comes death. It's a very busy card here with a lot of images inside. I love the sort of a feel of the two realms here, divided. So the world of earth and the world of spirit. At least that's how I interpret it. We've got the Temperance card. Again, we've got kind of an abstract feeling of melding behind her. And then we've got this crisscrossed image here. So we've got fire, water, air, and I believe that would probably be earth. But let's just read what the guidebook says about temperance. So here's what the guidebook says about temperance. The trials and temptations you currently experience will lead you toward integration, the middle way, the path of moderation. Through acting in moderation, your fears are conquered and your purity shines forth. You are in a period of growth, of stretching yourself spiritually. Through allowing inner growth, you will arrive at a period of profound realization. So we don't have an explanation of the symbols used in the card. So that is one quibble I kind of have. I know it's just a little white book, but it would be nice to have had a little more explanation of the symbology in the cards. Here is the devil, kind of the ram's head there. The upside down pentacle. Next we have the tower, the lightning strike. The man falling here. Great tower, I love that. And this is also a beautiful star with the meditative feel to the card. Again, we've got balance represented here with the two sides. So we have enlightenment and optimism and hope going within. It's beautiful. I just love the coloration in this card too, and the black background sort of makes the light colored image really pop. Very pretty. The moon. I love the moon in this deck. It's like the moon on a cloudy evening, kind of those layers of mist. We've got the wolf, and we've got crayfish, I believe that is. A wolf and a dog. It's really a beautiful moon card. And here we have the sun. We've got the couple enjoying the beautiful earth, They're in a basket representing, I guess, the earth. We've got sort of a yoni symbol there for sexuality. So a beautiful sunny day with everything going right. Resurrection instead of judgment. Same sort of a look and feel to the card. And we have the universe in place of the world. Again, sort of an androgynous figure there. We've got the Ouroboros. We don't have any of the symbols of the elements like you might see on other more traditional cards. But I actually prefer this more trimmed down version. It's more to the point without a lot of clutter. Alrighty, then we go to the suits, which I love because they're done according to the elements. So we've got the element of wind or air. We have Father of Wind. And similar to Thoth Tarot, we've got the King or the Knight, but in this deck it's called Father. And in Thoth, the highest card of the deck is riding on a horse. So all the kings or fathers in this deck are riding on horseback. I love this kind of a double image. It's sort of your shadow side and your lighter side. So that is Father of Wind, Mother of Wind. And this would be, in traditional tarot, this would be the suit of swords. So this would be the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Here we have Brother of Wind or Knight of Swords. Sister of Wind or Page of Swords. She actually does look like she's holding a sword. We've got butterflies there. That's rather sweet, rather feminine. They make a good matching pair. And then the Ten of Wind or Ten of Swords. Now the minor arcana in this deck and the numbered suits are a little more pip-ish. I won't say they're pips, but they're pip-ish. They've got the abstract art. They have a keywords or a key meaning. And I find the fact that there's a key meaning to be similar to as if the card was illustrated fully. It sort of limits your interpretation of the card if you strictly go by this. But this is titled The Way of the Cross, the Ten of Wind or Ten of Swords. And I would presume the Way of the Cross would be a crucifixion type of an idea, which is kind of similar to the Rider-Waite Ten of Swords, where you've got the 10 swords through a body. Same feeling to that idea. Here we've got Nine of Wind or Nine of Swords, the Screen. Kind of that anxious or nightmarish quality there. Eight of Wind, Power Shield. So isn't that an interesting way to think about that card? Instead of thinking of the Eight of Swords as being swords surrounding you and that you're imprisoned by whatever means and you're able to break out, whether you do or not remains to be seen. But this regards the Eight Swords as a power shield. So it's more of a protective idea. I rather like that. So Eight of Wind, Power Shield. Seven of Wind, Many Tongues. Now in Rider-Waite, you'll see the Seven of Swords. You'll see the guy stealing away with some of the swords. And the idea of many tongues is kind of similar. It's a deceptive type idea. So we've got a little snakery going on, a little deception. So kind of the idea of someone who speaks with forked tongue. It's a beautiful card. Look at all the colors. I love that. That is very nice. The Six of Wind, Clarity. So while in the Six of Swords in Rider-Waite, you see them sailing off to a more tranquil area. This represents this card more in relationship to the element of the mind or the intellect. that you're seeing things clearly and harmoniously. So to me, this is a better card for the Six of Wind or Six of Swords. Then we have Five of Wind. The fives are pretty easy to grasp, in my opinion, because the meaning is rather straightforward. It's in the middle of the suit. It's an odd number that kind of breaks up the energy of the suit. So we've got fear, kind of breaking up the intellect or the knowledge. You kind of don't know if you should go forward or backward. The broken swords there. Four of Wind, mastery. So instead of seeing a soldier resting, we've got a totally different idea of mastery. You could look at it as you've mastered something and you've laid your foundation and you're taking a little break before you move into the next phase. So in that way they do tie together. Three of Wind, and I do love this, recognition. So you've gotten the seed of an idea, you've made the necessary preparation to move forward, and the first step is a bit of a recognition, a little bit of success. Perfect, much better than three swords stuck through a heart, which to me does not relate to the suit of swords whatsoever, except for the swords are sticking through a heart. And where the idea of emotion coming into the suit of swords or wind, to me that just doesn't jive. So I really do like this deck better in that aspect. Two of Wind, the crossing. Whereas in Rider-Waite you see a lady crossing the swords that's blindfolded. Here we just have the swords themselves. So sort of a crossroads, the beginning of your new idea, gathering the resources you need to make it go forward. One of Wind. In this deck it's entitled Dawn. Now I would love this if they carried that idea through to the other suits and say that the One of Wands would be noon, and the Ace of Cups were twilight, and the Ace of Pentacles were midnight. But we don't carry that through in this deck. We only see dawn associated with One of Wind. But I do like that because that is an association for swords and wind and the east, dawn. So that to me is great. Okay, next suit is Wands, or in this deck it's Fire. Father of Fire. He's awesome. That is just a gorgeous card. The Mother of Fire. She's got a big cat instead of a little black cat. Mother of Fire. But look at that lion. That lion is great. The artwork in this deck is just sublime. Next we have the Brother, or Knight of Wands, Knight of Fire. He's sort of got a horse lion, sort of a shape-shifted creature there. We have the Sister, or the Page of Wands. Sister of Fire. Isn't she lovely? Love her. Her dress and her legs sort of swirling. There's a tiger there. I really love that card. Then we have Ten of Fire, or Ten of Wands, the Cage. We've got like a bonfire here, really burning. Nine of Fire, the Eye of Fire. Whereas in Rider-Waite, you'd see the guy that's sort of standing there holding his wands. He is battle weary and been through something. But this is a similar idea, the Eye of Fire. So you're really experiencing something very strong in your life. The Eight of Fire, the Lightning Path. Very similar idea to Rider-Waite. Seven of Fire, Courage. And in Thoth, this deck, this deck is card Valor. And in the Rider-Waite Smith card, we see a man sort of defending his territory. So between all three of these decks, we've got a similar idea for the Seven of Fire, or the Seven of Wands. Six of Fire, glory. A similar idea to Rider-Waite. I love this. Looks like an ancient tapestry. And we've got the growth coming out from that. So 6 of fire, we've got a very fiery undertaking. We've got some sort of a undertaking dear to our heart, and everything is coming together harmoniously in this 6 of fire, coming together to our glory. 5 of fire, disruption in the force, the struggle. Beautiful representation of that. 4 of fire. Now, whereas in Rider-Waite we see 4 of wands as kind of a celebratory with the garlands above, but we do have that structure of the 4 here. And this is entitled Flame of Spirit. So 4 of fire. The flame has been lit. And we're ready to move forward. 3 of fire, or 3 of wands. The birth of light. I love that because to me 3s are related to birth, and of course fire is light. So birth of light. 2 of fire, or 2 of wands, convergence. Something is coming together. The seed has been lit or ignited, and the convergence of moving forward. I like that. To me, I have trouble with the Rider-Waite Smith, the 2 and 3 of wands. The gentleman just, one standing there looking out with his globe. That would be for the 2 of fire. He's kind of looking over and setting his course. So it's kind of a same feel, very generally similar feel. And then the 3 of wands in Rider-Waite is the gentleman looking out to sea, looking for the ship, or maybe he's just sent his ship out. But I really like this 3 of fire much better. It gives me a more clear idea of the card from a numerological and elemental aspect. 1 of fire, or ace of fire. This card I don't know. It looks like it's off kilter to me. I don't know if that's intentional. It sort of irritates me or bothers me. 1 of fire, force. And we've got this image sort of off center there. But maybe that's the disruption in the force that you need to move forward. It's beautiful. Next we move to the suit of water, or cups. We've got Father of Water. He's again riding a horse. Mother of Water. A beautiful meditative lotus pose there. I love that card. That is so great. The perfect Mother of Water. We've got Brother of Water, or the Knight of Cups. Got the chakras illustrated there. And I also adore this Sister of Water. Isn't that lovely? She's riding on the back of a turtle. I absolutely love that. Ten of water is the overflowing fountain of love. 9 of water, rainbow mirror. So instead of the guy at the tavern with all his full cups there, we've got a rainbow mirror. Not quite sure what they mean by that. Let's give it a look at the guidebook and see. You feel a strong sense of internal integrity and inner security. You enjoy strong self-esteem. You are peaceful with your inner joy. You have accepted yourself, and that has given you new wisdom and harmony. So I rather do like that. 8 of water, still waters. You are in a state of withdrawal. Retreat is necessary and good. Through withdrawing, all things will become clear. You will be protected as you withdraw. You will not lose anything important. Take a break and remember, still waters run deep. Very nice. 7 of water, insight. So the 7 of cups, we normally see someone looking at all these 7 different cups, and that gives it it's a similar idea, insight, confidence, choosing. But this particular deck emphasizes more the insight aspect of the Seven of Cups. In other words, you've got the knowledge, you've been gathering your knowledge, and you're able to make a good choice. You're able to be selective and to know the right way to turn. And we have the Six of Water, or faith, which is rather different from Rider-Waite, where they kind of emphasize happy memories. Well, from a numerological standpoint, sixes represent a harmony and beauty and love. And the Six of Water is the harmony and beauty and love side of the suit of water, or emotions. And that, according to this deck, is faith. Now, I would prefer to have a couple of keywords here to choose from other than just faith for Six of Water. But, you know, you don't have to read this, but it's kind of staring you in the face, so. But that is a lovely card. It indicates harmony and beauty and a pulling together of all the colors and everything into a harmonious one. So I do like that. Here is the Five of Water, spilling. Again, similar to Rider-Waite image of the couple of cups spilled and the other cups are upright. So similar image, and possibly a different, slightly different meaning depending on how you view the card. That is just gorgeous. So for Five of Water, the little guidebook says, painfully you feel that relationships are transient and impermanent. Do not rely so much on others for love. When it seems that the cups of your life have spilled and all your love is emptied out, you will discover you still have a major reservoir, your own source of internal love. The Four of Water, the flood. You are outgrowing a period of contentment. Things that were once good now seem stale. Things once new have grown old. Change is the only thing that remains stable. Do not be afraid to change and regain your balance. See, to me, that doesn't really represent a four, having that instability and change. I would like to see more of a card of stability. So I don't really like this Four of Water so much as others that I've seen. Here is Three of Water, the stream of love. Perfect. A sublime state of harmonious pleasure. You are in a grace period. Two of Water, sacred cord. All opposites joyfully merge, male and female, light and dark, dry and wet, hard and soft. You have a great sense of connection and a sense of bliss. You were waiting to make a connection, and now you have received, just as you have been received in joy. One of Water, or Ace of Cups, open channel. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful card? You are experiencing a burst of feeling, sentiment, empathy, sympathy, enthusiasm. The time is right for connecting. Then on to the suit of Earth. And by the way I'm presenting these to you are the way that they are following in the guidebook. So this is the way they're presented. Earth Father, and now we immediately see those earthy colors, greens and browns. Joyous practicality. Wealth spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and physically. Earth Mother. You have a high level of compassion. The creative forces of your life must be quietly nurtured. Very beautiful. I love the water there and the abundant feeling here. Earth Brother. Accomplishment comes through the thoughtful meditation. You must carefully adapt to your environment. Through first meditating on what type of soil you are working with, you will be able to plant the right kind of seeds. Here is Earth Sister. This is the brink of transformation. Something new is coming. A birth is about to occur. Be advised that the diamond, the world's hardest and most brilliant gem, is born of the deepest folds of the Earth's darkness. 10 of Earth, the great work. You experience a sense of order, design, tension, balance, and harmony. Everything in your life is moving with wonderful rhythm. 9 of Earth, the zenith. You feel a sense of accomplishment, reward, happiness, balance, joy, splendor, unity, love, radiance, beauty, and light. So instead of the lady in the garden, we've got the similar idea in this card. A little more pippish expression of it. The Eight of Earth. Instead of the man, the craftsman making his pentacles, we've got the Mountain. Perseverance, commitment, and discipline are the real keys to success. Talent is important, but not the most important factor. You are learning, practicing, growing, and blossoming. I apologize for my neighbor's dog. Not much I can do about it. Seven of Earth, the Garden. You create your own sense of success and failure. So rather than seeing the gentleman leaning on his shovel while he's tending his garden, I love this image. It's really pretty. You create your own sense of success and failure. You hold the tools of your own transformation. Admit to yourself that you do know what you want and go ahead and attain it. Failure does not mean regression. It means there is a better, more rewarding path for you to take. So that's a really nice summary of that card. Six of Earth, beauty. Of course, we mentioned that sixes do represent beauty. And this is physical beauty because the suit of Earth, or pentacles, or coins, whatever you want to call it, is the suit relating to the physical nature of Earth. You experience the joy of giving. You are healing yourself and your environment through realizing that the pursuit of beauty, what many call the beauty way, is the secret to all lasting success. So instead of a man distributing coins, we've got the keyword beauty. Five of Earth, the Nadir. You are worried. You have helped to produce a reality in which your own truths are denied. You are alienated. You feel alone and on the outside. This is a time for introspection. So instead of the sense of being outside in the cold on a wintry day outside the church, kind of begging for alms, we've got a slightly different representation of that card, saying that you're alone, you feel alone on the outside. It is time to rearrange your life in such a way that your heart and spirit are rewarded. So a little different twist on that. So for Four of Earth, we have the keyword power. So actually that is a great keyword for the Four of Earth or Four of Pentacles. Instead of seeing a guy sitting on his earthly treasures and kind of hoarding them, I don't really like that image. It's very limiting. But this relates to power. Power is unfolding within you. You feel as if you are closing the outside world, but recognize this as a strength, not a weakness. You have the power to shut the door when necessary. You also have the power to open it. If you think the key is lost, look within your heart to find it. You have high qualities of generosity. Do not become a victim of avarice on the part of yourself or anyone else. Three of Earth, works. So sometimes we view this card as being a card of patronage, of becoming a craftsman into your own right, of producing something creative and wonderful. So this deck regards this as works. The work you have chosen is the right work, a time of inventing, creating, engineering. The skills you are using are the right skills. All things are moving into alignment to work with you. Expect material success. Two of Earth, cause and effect. Instead of a juggler, which is a similar feel, we've got cause and effect. You are trying to work out the details of your life to bring everything into balance. And then, last but not least, we've got One of Earth, or form. I think this is a really, really beautiful card. You are receiving the gift of productivity. Something new is happening to you, physically or materially. You are engaged in promising new endeavors, beginning to move toward a state of external success and internal harmony. In order to arrive at a state of wealth, you must pay constant attention to the state of your spirit, heart, and mind as you work through your daily routines. So again, I really, really like this deck. I love just about everything about it. I have very few quibbles. Most of it really rings true for me, even more so than Rider-Waite. The cardstock is lovely. Well, it's from US Games at this point in time, so we would expect that. The card backs are beautiful. I think this is a deck, it's been around for a long time, and I know a lot of you must have it, but I don't see a lot of people featuring it anywhere. And I think it should get more love because it's really lovely. And I think it would pair well with other decks such as the Shimmering Veil, and it would pair well with the Thoth Tarot. Any kind of those abstract art decks. This could probably pair well as a supplemental deck for those. Alrighty, so take care, have a really good rest of the day, and I will talk to you again next time.